Hey there, folks. We today we're working on a Toyota Hilux 2018 model. The problem is it's not going into four-wheel drive, four-wheel high or four-wheel low. Apparently, the customer has driven on four-wheel low. He didn't know that. He was just driving for a couple of kilometers on a freeway or I don't know highway, pretty much at a faster speed, which you shouldn't be doing. And then somehow it stops working. It was just stuck in follow when I got the car here. So what I did, I just pull out this unit. This is the four-wheel transfer case actuator, and then it wasn't working at all. The motor was burned and everything. That's the old unit on the bench here. The problem I faced is trying to get this one's from a wrecker, and then when you try to put it back in, it didn't work. I mean, the unit's working, but it get jammed up, the gears jammed up, and then whatnot. So I tried to find on the internet, on the YouTube, how to get this thing properly inserted in, because there's a shaft coming out from this transfer case. You can't see it because that one's inside. So what you used to do in the old days is move that shaft with a gear lever up next to your normal gear shifter, but that has been taken out from the gear lever and then given to this motor. It's like a couple of gears and stuff in it. So this is what it is actually. The problem is it is timed. The gears are timed. There's couple of angle sensors, or I don't know what you call it, but they're like, you just measure the degrees. All right, you get the idea. So it's measuring where the it's not measuring anything inside the transfer case. It's measuring everything inside it. So all the motor, the gears, and everything's inside this one. So the problem I faced is if you put it in the you have to take these screws. That's like how many, six, seven screws in here. So you had to take this piece out. It will look like this, and you had to take these gear wheels out in order to that shaft which goes inside from the transfer case, which comes out from the transfer case, that goes in there. It will look something like that. All right. So on that shaft, you get teeth cut on one side of the shaft, and then you get meshed up with these gears here. So it's pretty much a rack and pinion system. All right. The problem is you can't push the pinion with a rack because it doesn't work like that. The only way you can do it is the pinion can push the shaft back and forth, but not the other way around. So if you don't take this off and then try to put it in, it will have a gap in here with the housing about that much, about half inch. You can push it in with the bolts which goes in. They got three big 12 mil bolts, one here, one up there, and one up here. But if you do that, it won't work. All right. So you have to take this piece off. You have to take this cover off. But when you take it off, you lose the timing. All right. So I tried to find it out, and then I had to take this out like, I don't know, 100 million times just to get it in the right timing. So I couldn't find any information anywhere on the internet. So I hope this will help the guys who are scratching their heads, how the hell I'm going to put this back in. All right. This is how you do it. It's pretty easy. Just push this lever. So imagine this is the housing right up here, and then you get the shaft outside from there, and then you take this off and then push this lever all the way in. All the way in is two-wheel drive. All right. When you move somewhere like that, that's four-wheel drive high, and then when it's all the way out, that's four-wheel low. That's how it works. All right. So you gotta take this unit off. When this is out, you push this thing all the way in towards the transfer case. So it will sit somewhere like that, and then you bolt these, not all three. Just leave this out, because if you have this on, then you can't put this cover back on. So you just get these two bolts in, and then connect this breather hose and the plug, and then that's all good. And then what you got to do, once you have the shaft like that, I'll just take it out for the time being. This is the cam. You got two micro switches in here. which detects where you're at. So these are micro switches which will show you on the dashboard as 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low. So this is the 4-wheel low cam, and that's the 4-wheel high cam, which is underneath, which looks like that. All right, so you got to put this into that hole, which looks a little bit bluish color with the grease. Let me put it in. All right, once you put that on like that, this yellow marking, that's me. All right, so how you're gonna do this is there's a slight mark on this gear. It looks something like that, but it's not the one with the hole. It's a straight line. Right, if you have that straight line, you have to align with this. There's another line here. All right, once you get that correct, you're in the correct position. And then you have a little gear wheel here as well, and then you put this one on this way. I'm just trying to do it with one hand. I would stay like that. All right, but make sure you don't drop this. What I do, I just put a little bit of grease so they don't fall out, because you have to do it like this while it's fixed the transfer case. All right, so this is the flow, so everything's supposed to be coming down due to gravity. So just be aware of that. Once you set this up, and then you get this cover. All right, and there's another sensor on the cover. This is the one took my head off. All right, so this thing doesn't have any marks or anything, but there's a little line here on this red gear wheel. You see that little red line, and there's a little notch on the housing of it, the outer casing of it. So this yellow markings, that's me. All right, that's once you set that one, gotta be really careful not to bend these pins. If you see on this side, they're a little bit bent inwards, because when you try to get that cover from here, just because of these pieces on the housing, it's a little bit tricky to get it in. So you might have to bend the pins a little bit inward. All right, but be careful not to bend them too much, you might break them. So once you have a look at the timing again, that's how you correctly time it. The main gear wheels and the sensor gear wheel. Once you put that on, just make sure you get it in properly, and then all done. You put this board back on, put all the screws in, jump inside the car. Without starting, just turn the selector knob couple of times back and forth, 2-wheel, 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low, and then you might see sometimes the 4-wheel low is blinking. 4-wheel low blinking means it's not correctly engaged. So what you got to do is start the car, and then always select, when you turn the selector knob, make sure you're on neutral and pressing the brake. And then once your selector switch is in the position, put on the drive or reverse, and then drive it forward or backwards a little bit. I'm on the hoist. I did it on the hoist, so it's much easier for me to get underneath. That's how I managed to get it upside a couple of times in and out. I didn't want to crawl under the car a couple of times. So yeah, so it was hard task, but after a couple of days I managed to get it in timing, and the car's running fine. It's engaging and disengaging 4-wheel and 2-wheel drive properly. So hope this video helps somebody out there scratching their head how the hell I'm gonna do this timing. So yeah, thumbs up guys if you like the video. Like it, subscribe it. We're Quick Fix Auto. See you next time. Bye.